Hey YouTube, it's me, Key, and I'm back with another story time. So I don't know what I'm gonna call this story time, but I'll think of it after, I'll tell the story. But this would be about the time where I went on the worst date ever, and I'm quote unquote date. Y'all gonna see why later on. Like, this story is super crazy, y'all. So let's get into it. We're gonna name the guy in the story, we're gonna name him Sean, and he's actually Shiesty Sean for so many reasons, y'all. So many reasons. Like, I did it so many crazy shiesty dudes. It don't make no sense. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so this happened in my early 20s. I was probably like 20, turning 21, I don't know, but I was real young. So yes, of course I was young and dumb, just like everybody else was, okay? So not too much, don't judge me a lot, okay? So this was when I had just moved from the west side of Phoenix to the south side of Phoenix. Like, I didn't know literally nobody over there. But yeah, I had just moved to the south side. I didn't know nobody, and I had met this dude, and he's a whole nother story. Like, yeah, y'all. But yeah, so I had met Shiesty Sean through the dude, and we had started talking. A crazy story happened probably when we were like 6 months in. And y'all, let me tell y'all about Sean. Like, he might have been shiesty, but Sean was fine, okay? Sean was like 6'2". He dressed nice. He was tatted from the neck all the way down. Like, Sean was fine, y'all. And the thing is, like, everybody on the south side, they all wanted Sean. And I'm like, I got Sean. Sean is mine, I felt like, yeah, I won. He's mine, not y'all's. But anyways, finding out who he really was, them hoes could have had him. They could have kept that nigga. So Sean, he had his own place, but he he would roommate with his sister. And of course, I live with my mom, so I really couldn't have any company. And so I would just, go to Sean's house a lot and chill over there with him. Like, we didn't go out much. We just chilled in the house. So one day he was just telling me he wanted to take me out on a date. And I was like, what? Like, you want to go on a date? Okay, cool. We both didn't have a car. So I ended up having to borrow my mom's car to go on this date, y'all. This date. He had plans for us to go out to eat and go to the movies. But the thing was, like, he wanted me to stay the night with him, but his cousin was staying the night that night. So we wanted to have privacy. So Sean was just like, let's get a hotel, and then, we'll book the room. We'll go chill for a little while. Then we go on our date. Afterwards, we'll come back to the room. I was like, cool. So we got ready. Well, I got ready for the date. Sean called me and let me know he was ready to go. So I ended up leaving to go pick up Sean. And Sean, he was just real nice, y'all. Like, he always dressed nice, but he was dressed, to go out, on a date. He had on cologne. He smelled real good, y'all. I ain't never seen Sean like that. So me and Sean, we go get the motel. Yeah, of course it was a motel. I didn't really know too much about hotels or whatever. But he booked the room at I believe it was a Motel 6, if I can remember. So we get to the room, we check in, and then I check in with my ID, but he gives me the money to pay for the room. I believe back then the room was only like $40 a night. So he gives me the money to pay for the room. So we go upstairs, we check in, okay, we see the room. Now it's time to go to our date, right? So Sean tells me, oh, you know what? I'm going to run to the store right quick because the hotel, it was a hotel, and then, the motel, and there was a gas station literally right next door. He was like, I'm going to run to the store real quick to get some Swishers because he smoked. I didn't smoke. I still don't to this day, but he said he needed some Swishers or whatever. And I'm just thinking, I might as well come with you because we're about to go on a date. He was just like, no, I'll be right back. I'm like, okay. So I was okay with him, driving my mom's car because the store was literally right next to the hotel. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. He don't even have to go out to the main street to get to the store, y'all. He could just cut through and just be right at the gas station. It was a Circle K. He could just be right there, cut through, come right back to the motel. I'm like, okay, cool. Just go to the store and just hurry up. Because I don't want to, I'm ready to go. Shit, I'm dressed. I'm ready to go. Ready to be outside. So he was like, okay, I'll be right back. I'll probably be back in like 10 minutes. I'm like, cool. So I'm waiting on Sean, 5 minutes go by. I'm like, okay, he should be, pulling up soon. The store is literally right next door. So I'm waiting on Sean. So 10 minutes go by and I call Sean. I'm like, hey, like, what is you doing? The story's right there. He's like, oh no, it's a really long line in here. I'll be right there, I promise. I'm like, okay, cool. Another 10 minutes go by. I'm calling Sean. He's like, oh, I have to do something real quick. What do you mean you have to do something real quick? I'll be pulling up. Just give me like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay. We hang up the phone. Another 10 minutes go by. I call Sean again. He's not answering the phone. He's not answering the phone. I call him again. He's not answering the phone. 30 minutes go by. I call him again. He's not answering the phone. Y'all, I'm blowing up this man's phone because look, y'all, he's in my mom's car. I don't let nobody drive my mama's car. She barely let me drive the damn car. So I'm like, where is this fuck at in this car? Like, what is going on? I was in disbelief. Y'all, a whole hour go by. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown because again, like I said, he's in my mama's car. Like, he's in my mama's car. I just couldn't believe it. Like, y'all. So, me being, you know, the type of person I am, like, I like to overthink a lot. So, I'm thinking maybe something happened to him. If something happened to him, where's the car? Did something happen to the car? So, like, you know, like, I started becoming Inspector Gadget. I don't know, like, how I got this. I think it was a non-emergency number. Like, I called and I checked. I'm like, hey, my boyfriend has my car and I just want to know if something happened because like probably like an hour after I was blowing up his phone, he has shot me a text and was like, does the car have insurance? I'm like, yeah. He's like, where is it at? I'm like, the insurance is in the glove compartment. And he stopped responding. So I started blowing up the phone again. He was not answering the phone. So I'm like, okay, he probably got pulled over, but I know Sean has license. So like, I called the non-emergency number, y'all. And they telling me like, they're asking me what kind of car is it, what year, you know, everything about the car and whose name is it in, who's driving. And they tell me that this man gets pulled over. Yeah, y'all, he got pulled over, but they said the police let him go. So I'm like, okay, he got pulled over and he got let go. So where the fuck is he? Y'all, like, my mind is just going, like, in so many different directions. Like, I was so scared, you know? Like, I'm scared because what if my mom find out he's driving her car? She gonna hurt me, y'all. Like, ain't nobody supposed to be driving her car? And then, like, why would he just drop me off at the hotel and then take the car and stop answering the phone? Like, it was a lot going through my mind. And at this point in time, if I knew I couldn't call my parents about certain stuff, or, you know, I was real private and I didn't like to tell my siblings nothing either, I would call my stepmom. And that's exactly who I called because I knew she wouldn't call my parents and tell them nothing. She just always had, like, you know, my best interest. Like, I could confide in her. I could tell her anything. So I'm calling her. At this point, y'all, I'm crying. I don't know what to do. I just feel stranded in this hotel. Like, he got the car. What can I do? And he got pulled over. So I'm calling my stepmom. I'm just crying. She's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I tell her everything. She was like, girl, like, you need to calm down. You need to relax. Like, I was hysterical at that point because it was like maybe 2 hours after he left it. He left me at the hotel. Like, 2 hours had went by. I just didn't know what to do. She was just like, you need to calm down. Just, you know, just hope for the best, you know, just hope for the best. And maybe nothing happened. Maybe he just had to go somewhere real quick. She was like, you're going to make yourself sick if you keep, you know, hyperventilating, you're crying. Like, you just gotta just calm down and just think for the best. I'm just like, okay. And then y'all, like, he ended up leaving me at this hotel like the whole night. He left me there all night. Like, I was just calling her. She would check on me and just see if I was okay, see if he came back with the car. She was just like, just be patient. I know he should never did that to you, but there's nothing that you can do right now unless you want to call your mama and tell her to come get you. Then she gonna be really mad that this nigga done drove off in the car. So your best bet is just to chill, because eventually he got to pick you up because you got to go to work. Yes. What, did I have to go to work? Yeah, actually, I think it was Sunday. Yeah, this date happened on Sunday. So yeah, she was just like, you gotta calm down because eventually he gotta come back and get you because he can't just take off in your mama's car and not come back and pick you up. So I'm just like, okay, like, I'm gonna try to relax. So I had remembered that he had told me that his cousin was staying the night at his house. So I was just like, let me call his cousin because maybe he knows something. So I had his cousin number because like me and his cousin, he was cool. So I called him like, hey, have you seen your cousin? He dropped me off at the hotel a few hours ago and he's not answering the phone. I called the non-emergency phone number and they telling me that he got pulled over, but they let him go. Like, do you know anything? Like, what's going on? He was just telling me, no, like, I mean, I talked to him and he just said he has something to do, but, you know, I ain't heard from him. But, you know, there wasn't much information that his cousin could give me, and I think he was lying anyways because him and his cousins was like this. So why would he tell me the truth, you know? So I'm like, all right, well, call me if you hear anything. He's like, all right, bet. So we get off the phone or whatever. So y'all try to give me a little bit of rest. I try to calm down because I'm literally sick to my stomach. It's past midnight and I still have yet to hear from Sean. Like, he just disappeared on me, y'all. So I'm trying to calm myself down. I'm sick and I'm just like, I got a fucking migraine at this point. My head is just pounding out of my goddamn head. So I'm like, I need to lay down and give me some rest before I do something. If I do something, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. So I eventually fall asleep and then like I wake up because my phone is ringing. I look at the time and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, y'all. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Yes. 6 o'clock in the morning the very next day, and I just couldn't believe it. And of course it was Shiesty Sean calling my phone. I'm like, what? He like, come outside. So I goes outside. I get my stuff and I go outside. Y'all, he didn't even have the decency to come knock on the door or nothing. He just, I'm outside, come outside. Y'all, when I got in the car, this man didn't even have the same clothes on. He had on some basketball shorts and no t-shirt. Like, where the fuck was you at? And I'm like, what the fuck? He tells me he had to do something. He couldn't even think of a lie. He just had to do something. Y'all, like, he had me so messed up. And then he had a bag with some brand new hats in it. And then I'm like, okay, so you went shopping? And then, y'all, like, we driving in the car. Like, he just couldn't, he just tried to flip it on me, try to make it seem like, oh, I'm blowing up his phone and I'm bothering him. But bitch, you told me you were taking me out on a date. You didn't tell me that you were going to book a hotel room and leave me there stranded and take off in my mama's car. So that was your plan the whole time. Like, that was some sleazy, shiesty shit, y'all. I just couldn't believe it. And then how you try to flip it on me and get mad at me, start cussing me up because I'm calling your phone? What? I just was in disbelief, y'all. So we riding down the street and like, I don't know, I'm just looking around in the car. I noticed there's something on the side of the car. I reached down and picked it up. It's like, I don't know, it was a wallet. It was like a female wallet, but it didn't have nothing in it. And like, I would know if it was one of my sisters or my mom's, but it clearly wasn't. I had never seen that wallet a day in my life. So I put two and two together, y'all. I'm like, this motherfucker took me to a hotel, took off in my mama's car to go out with the next bitch. He really did that. He needed my mama car to take the next bitch out on a date. Like, that's what he did. Like, that's the lowest, grimiest shit ever. Like, I just could not. Like, I'm like, he's something else. I was just disgusted. And y'all know I put my hands on him. I had to put my hands on him. Yeah, he lucky I ain't stalking while I was driving the car. But then if I would have did that, we would have both crashed. But I'm just like, wow, like, when he pulled up, of course I confronted him and then we argued. Two-pieced him, y'all. I had to, like, but then I had to get out the car and run because, you know, like, I had to get out and run. I just could not keep my composure because you had me, for one, you conned me. You stole my mama's car. And then, like, I was just sick all night. I'm thinking something happened to the car. fuck you at this point. Something can happen to you, but my mama car? No, because if something happens to the car, she was gonna do something to me. So I was worried about myself in that car, y'all. Just, oh my God, like that, still to this day, like that day just makes me so mad. Like, dudes are so grimy. Like, I was really young back then, and I will never make the same mistake twice, y'all. I just, but y'all, there's plenty more story times about Sean. I may tell him, I may not tell him, I don't know. I probably will tell another story about Sean, because it's a story with him and the dude that I had met before Sean. And yeah, y'all see, like, there's gonna be another part to Sean, but I really don't want to tell stories about him, because it was that was a dark time in my life, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, that was a really dark time in my life. I'm so sorry I had to rush to this story. My son, he's up. I know y'all can hear him in the background, but he's up and he's being loud, and I don't want him talking in the background. So I'm going to get off this phone and tend to him. Thank y'all again so much for watching my story. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe.